Javier the same thing. You concerned you guys haven't found that consistent mode yet? That night in, night out, you're gonna get what you need out of this group here, or it's still just too early in the season?
Well, I think that's exactly what the discussion was and the challenge was to the group this morning as we met and talked. Is we've played arguably some of the best teams in the league off the field, and then we've turned around and we've struggled in other games that we feel like we should be better than. And so it's about that exactly, that consistency. And I think for us, it's to, as I said, we need to respect every opponent. We need to respect the ability of every team that they can come in and hurt us. That we need to have the right intensity. That we have to remember that Javier used a really good word when I was speaking with him yesterday. The consequence of us being able to play soccer is that we work hard. We compete for everything. We do the little things well inside of the game. The intensity, all those things have to be right, and then you get the reward is that you get to play, score goals, do those kinds of things. And so I think with our group, where we really love to play soccer and we like some of the beautiful parts of the game, we also have to knuckle down and remember that you got to do all of those other parts of the game first and foremost, and then the rest of that stuff comes out. When we've had that mentality going into games and we really respected the opposition is when I think we've gotten our best performances. And so I think it's a reminder for myself and to keep reminding the guys that we need to keep that intensity level high and win our duels and do all of the blue collar work, if you will, before we get into thinking about entertainment and playing and all the beautiful stuff.
Your thoughts on San Jose? There's had a coaching change and at the bottom of the table, but San Jose and the Galaxy.
That's part of it. That's where you start. It's a derby, so none of that stuff really matters. It's a game of emotion. It's a game of competition. I'm going to stay there. We've got to win our duels. We've got to win the battles, and if we can, then we can earn the right to play inside of the game. I think again they're a team that's going through a shift in terms of style of play and what the new coach is asking them to do. They find a good shape in terms of their building and the way they want to possess and create things. They've obviously got a goal scorer who's proven that he can put the ball in the back of the net with Bobase. And so for me, I've always liked Espinoza. I think he's a dangerous player who puts balls in dangerous areas, a fantastic crosser, doesn't need a lot of space. So I think they lead the league, or they're second in the league in goals in set pieces, and attacking set pieces. So they certainly have plenty of ways that they can hurt you. Of course, they may be still working through a transition. That's not for us to concern ourselves with. We have to outcompete them first and foremost, and then find our ways in the game to get the result.
Any updates on the timeline for Sasha and Douglas?
Both were in training today,
Okay.
so they are could be options for this weekend. If they recover today, no problem, and they can train tomorrow, then they could very much be options for the weekend for us. Aside from that, we have other guys who are starting to make their way back as we look for the weekend. So, and nobody in particular was out as of the other night. So nobody.
Greg, after the game, you were talking about lack of concentration. How do you work on that stuff?
Yeah, again, I think it comes down to some of it's emotional control. I think again when we go into games, sometimes expecting certain things to go our way or to happen for us, I see emotional reaction that then leads us to just little gaps, little breaks, which are also vulnerabilities. So I think again, I watch us against LAFC, against some of the teams that we talked about. I don't see those lack of concentration or breaks. So for me, again, it's about respecting the opposition. It's about respecting the game and your teammates, and the fact that you have to play 90 minutes and you have to be locked in every minute. So some of that is, again, it's awareness first and foremost. It's accountability out here on the training field. It's going to be accountability in terms of playing time. It's things like that where the message within the group, amongst each other and amongst myself in the group, is we're actually like halfway. We're 19 games that we've played so far between the league and the cup, and we have 19 games in the season remaining. And so we should have very clear lessons on what our team is about and what we need to do to be the best version of us now. So no more, it shouldn't be feeling out things anymore. We need to know what we are and where we have to push to be our best.
Greg, I know it's a long season, but do you feel the roster you have right now is enough to win a championship, or you are thinking about an important addition?
Yeah, we'll probably make at least one addition this summer. outside of that, we need some of the guys like Douglas, who hasn't been fully available for the first part of the season. We need him getting fit and also impacting games and impacting the team. That would be almost like a new signing, just because we haven't had him on a consistent basis. He's done a lot of good work. We've taken 2 steps back to manage some of the, I think, deficiencies, strength, mobility deficiencies, which have left him vulnerable for hamstring issues. So I think the guys on the medical team have done a really good job in working with some specialists to balance him out. Even when I watch him move now, he moves differently right now. So that's a positive sign in the right direction. If we can really get him rolling, that would be almost, like I said, like a new signing in a way for the group. So there's a possibility of a second, but I think we have a good group. I think one of the things, again, when I watch our games back, we've played as good as anyone in the league, but we've also have too many matches where we don't play at our best, and that's one of the things that we have to, as a group, become more consistent on playing at a higher level.
When you say 2 steps back, what does that entail for Douglas?
Well, the last injury he had was a very minor hamstring injury, but it was the second time that he had it. So for us, it's taking a step back or 2 and looking to figure out why this keeps happening and things like that. And the first was back from when he had a broken foot. He was lacking some mobility, flexibility, and strength in one of his ankles, which then was creating a deficiency on the opposite hamstring. So then you have to work out the ankle issue and get the strength and mobility and flexibility back, strengthen the hamstring on that side so that he's not vulnerable. And now, again, when I watch him move now, he moves more smooth, whereas before there was a little bit of compensation, a little bit of a limp, a little bit of a flat foot, and now I see he's moving much more efficiently. So hopefully, there's no guarantees, but hopefully once you find kind of maybe the source of some of that, you can start to take some real steps forward. We also have used this window to push his fitness level a little bit, so that he's not getting fit inside of games. He's getting fit on the training field. He's getting fit through this process, and now we're ready to start to get him back involved in the group. So.
Thank you, Rick.
Okay.
Thanks, Rick.